Buru correctly put it, could be felt by generations to come. Let's now cross over to Dr. Isaac Kalua, who is the founding chair of the Kenya Water Towers Agency, to have a conversation around that story that we just featured. I see he's now ready. Good evening to you, Dr. Isaac.
Good evening, and thank you very much for having me. And just for clarity, yes, I'm the founding chair, and my term at Kenya Water Towers just came to an end, but I remain a founding chair, and I'm glad that you chose to have me in this discussion today. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, and now following the report we just watched here, what do you make of human activity and its effect on the environment?
This is the biggest challenge that we are having, Rose, over time, and it continues to be the major challenge. And what we need to, and the situation that has been featured by Dan, a great story indeed, is factual, not only in that region of 700 kilometers catchment area, but also across the country. This is an actual situation, but we need to start asking ourselves, because some of the things that we need to check: why are people settling in these areas? One of the major issues is water. They are looking for water for their own use at home and for their own livelihood, and therefore we need to start thinking about this. Institutions like the Water Catchment Board that I was recently bought, is it well funded? Do they have the expertise that they need at the right time? Could there be a very easy access to water? You realize that 60% of the boreholes in this country are not working. And therefore, it is just an issue that needs to start being dealt with before even dealing with the politics of it, because this is one issue. Because we need to make people understand that the effect in this specific area affects everybody else. A problem in Nairobi, a problem in Nyandarua, a problem in Abadeas affects every Kenyan.
All right.
As a whole. Second
and
thing
of course,
I want to mention is the unwillingness to follow law and to enforce law in these areas. And therefore, these are issues that we need to deal with, even as we deal with matters of budget and ensuring that institutions are well funded, and also the corporate institutions are pulled along to ensure that they work on the protection matters.
You've spoken about the responsibility of the various institutions in striking that balance, but so far we have seen these water bodies that are dried up. Is there something that can be done to resuscitate them or to recover? Yes, one of the things that it's a step by step. One, we need to re-establish boundaries of Abadeas. And when I'm talking Abadeas, I'm talking about water towers in different parts of the country. And they must be fenced off. I think this is one thing that must be clear. And then, of course, the removal of settlements in these areas. A painful act that is very necessary, but the wananchi must be taken through a process to understand this. The recovery or the rehabilitation of this space is also very important. Creation of a working group of all the partners that are involved in this area. This is something that we must also work through. Resource mobilization to ensure that people, and there is enough funding sufficient to ensure that there is a lot that can be done in this area. And of course, the scientists have recommended removal of eucalyptus in these areas and other actions that must be done. And then facing reality to deal with issues in the best way possible for the good of the specific community. We are very fast when you talk about removal of water harvesting that is illegal. We are very fast in removing these people in front of cameras, and then immediately we leave them. We don't offer a solution. We become people who are not caring about their own people. We must, in the same way, enforce that we tend to remove people and to show that we are disconnecting water. All right.
We must go back with this equal force to ensure that people are guided in getting a total solution in this area.
And perhaps on the final question, what is the state of the water towers and other water catchment areas?
Terrible.
And it is also reported always. We must appreciate that what we have seen today is equally the same across the country. There is action that must be taken. I must salute the new board of Kenya Water Towers, which is very keen in ensuring that everything is done. The production of quarterly reports, which is a must, and in a manner that Kenyans can be able to understand and take action. The coordination activities that must be done. The role of bamboo production in these specific areas. And I am glad, I must report this on set, that His Excellency the President, I wrote to him recently on matters of commercializing bamboo, so that we are not just talking about it. And now I am glad that in the same way that it was suggested, corporate institutions can now be given some rebate on tax. And therefore, you can see now that the institution in Kenya Breweries has come in with 2 billion. I look forward to see the Safaricoms and every other institutions coming in to do activities for the good of the people of this nation in a very, very practical way. By the way, environmental conservation is not talk. It is how many trees are you planting? How are you touching lives of people in a positive way? Because it's about livelihoods. And the problem in one county is across the entire region. And therefore, we need even not to be talking about 10%. I believe, by the way, we must have covered the 10% when it gets to the ground truthing. We need to be talking of 40% as a country so that we can be able to work on this. And the politicians, you saw the other day the way the MPs from the central region, the way they came with a lot of oomph to make sure that there is water for the people. But where are they now? They have left the people, the same force, maybe they are not following up, and if they are, I salute them. But we need to see equal effort, that people are really fighting for their people on the grassroots, using the funds that are already available instead of looking for what is not available. And the committee in Parliament needs to support the Ministry of Environment by ensuring that there are no impediments that are set because of small flimsy issues. We need to have funding in institutions that can be able to do activities on the ground. Putting all this together with the way Mwananchi should understand, I think it will make the difference that is required.
Well, thank you, Dr. Isaac Kalua, who was the founding chairperson of the Kenya Water Towers Agency. And there you have it, of course, calling for concerted efforts, not only from the part of the government, but as well as Mwananchi.
Well, of course, with experts like Isaac Kalua, we've just spoken to, where he sounds so knowledgeable, there shouldn't be a problem. But is there willingness, is there goodwill from the politicians, as he mentioned, or the communities that live on these water catchment areas?
And mostly the communities that live around such catchment areas. And on that note, we take a break, after which we update you on the latest from the world of business.
This is K24.